Hi there, it's Tim, the exercise physiologist here at Executive Medicine, and I'm very excited to announce a new addition to one of our assessments here. And I've brought in Pierre, who designed and made this product. So I just want to introduce Pierre, and if you want to give a bit of a background about yourself and what you've created.
Sure. My name is Pierre, as Tim has said. I'm actually an orthoptist, which is an eye therapist, and I'm also a sports vision scientist. So I specialise in looking at vision and human performance. In a broad context, if we think of the central nervous system as a wiring system, it connects the brain to our eyes, and then we produce a motor movement. And a basic example is just catching a ball.
Okay.
So if I can use, we all have our GPS tracking systems. When you set your GPS, the aim is to get from point A to point B in the fastest possible time, to be efficient. And vision training, which is what I specialise in, is the same. We're trying to enhance our central nervous system to be productive, effective, and to perform the best that we can humanly possible.
Okay, that's very interesting. And when you do your assessments in your clinic, what type of things are you looking out for and measuring with your clients?
Sure. So it's a full optometry eye examination with my optometrist. So we're assessing the hardware system, and we look at your eye pressure, we look at if there's any cataract, we look at the retina, we look at your contact lens script if you wear contact lenses, glasses, and then once you've had the hardware testing, we do what's called the software testing, which is the strategy of how you use your vision. And part of that is your central nervous system, and then part of that, if we divide it again, is eye-hand coordination.
Okay, and that leads us on to the product that you've made, and we're
correct.
Very excited to be using. What if you had to explain what the test is measuring and what it involves? How would you explain it to people?
Yeah. So as you mentioned, in motor performance, there's a number of parameters. We have eye-hand coordination, eye-foot coordination, timing, peripheral awareness, and one key component that I found is critical across a broad range of sports is eyes and hand.
Yep.
And we know that certain technologies, if you train the eye-hand coordination component, you can actually enhance performance.
Okay.
So about 20 years ago, we developed the SVT technology.
Yep.
It's Australian designed, and it's been validated scientifically by independent research at NSWIS.
Yep. And
also some other overseas academics.
Okay, well, and SVT stands for?
Sports Vision Trainer.
Perfect. And when people do the test, how do they do it? How do they get measured?
Sure. So we have an initial testing program, and all subjects will perform the testing program. We collect that data, and then from that data, we then develop programs to enhance that particular component.
Yeah.
So every sport is different.
Yep.
So we're not actually teaching skill acquisition.
Yep.
So I could have a junior softball player.
Yep.
Or I could have an elite baseballer, first grade rugby league player.
Okay.
And they would all train on the SVT under specific programs.
Okay.
And they would all get a benefit.
Yeah, and that's for the sporting population. What about the average Joe, the person down the street? What would they get out from the test?
So I've had athletes that have done the training say, Pierre, I'm just at home and I drop a cup and I just pick it up. I react without my hands thinking.
Yeah, gotcha.
And so that fits into my earlier explanation of this attentive arousal process where our central nervous system can automatically respond to a situation.
Yep.
And as we age, obviously our central nervous system does lose its flexibility.
Yep.
And so it doesn't hurt to do some form of training on technology like the SVT.
Gotcha. And I know you mentioned the central nervous system. What other organs or systems in the body can we measure with the SVT?
We also do decision making,
Yep.
which is important in certain sports.
Yep.
And indirectly, it does also look at attention and arousal.
Perfect.
Because we can program hundreds of lights
Yep.
to come on in one set run.
Yep. Okay. And when they do the testing, what would happen after that if they say someone scores poorly, or say someone's getting ready for a particular event? What type of training would be involved to improve their performance?
Sure. So I think it's important when we do get data. I don't want to classify it as poor.
Yep.
I just want to classify it as a number that they achieved.
Yep.
And then we set our aims of what we're trying to achieve.
Yep.
And there are certain reaction times that you need to get to, certain milestones.
Okay.
And so the research shows if you train on the SVT 2 times a week,
Yep.
in half-an-hour sessions,
Yep.
for 5 weeks,
Yep.
you get a true change in your reaction time,
Yep.
excluding any learning effects,
Okay.
because there's a learning effect to human performance.
Yes. Yep.
And the other interesting news is that if you stop training on the SVT, you can maintain these amazing new thresholds
Yep.
for up to 12 weeks.
Wow.
So therefore, if I'm working with an elite athlete,
Yep.
the timing of when I intervene with my training becomes critical.
Okay. Definitely. And when they do 2 sessions a week for 5 weeks.
Correct.
And after that, they can experience the improvements for 12 weeks, which is fantastic.
Yes. Yeah, because it's not skeletal muscle.
Yep.
This is neurons firing.
Yes, so it's very much the central nervous system is what we're trying to really focus on and improve, and also measure, which is important. So as you age, you can do the testing year on and see if you're still as good as you were 5-10 years ago, which is important for anti-aging. Hi there, it's Tim again. We just wanted to give you a bit of a demonstration of how the SVT reaction time works. Now, Pierre, the first part of the testing program, what is involved?
So the first modality we're going to use is proaction,
Yep.
which means the light stays on until you've hit the first light.
Yep.
The quicker you hit the light, the quicker the next one appears.
Okay.
And I want to measure how quickly you can hit 30 lights. So first light comes on, and the quicker you hit the light, the quicker the next one appears. You can see that it took Tim approximately 12.55 seconds to hit the 30 lights. This is all the data that is collected simultaneously and stored in the patient's file. To do is reactive. It's like you receiving the ball. So the light is set at a predetermined time. If you hit it, it's a positive result. If you miss it, then it's scored as a negative result. So it'll be a percentage of correct responses. Let's do it. Now, if we scan over to the results, blue are the lights that Tim was able to hit at the time interval of 450 milliseconds. Yellow are the ones he missed. So you note in the bottom right-hand corner, he got 75% of the lights at 450 milliseconds. The human performance threshold for 20 lights should be 0.38 of a second with a consistent score of 80%. To achieve that, Tim would have to train on the SVT 3 to 5 weeks to be able to get to that reaction time. So hit the red light, don't hit the green. Great, let's have a look at the scores now. So these are Tim's scores for the go, no go, and at a speed of 450 milliseconds, he got 90% of the red lights, the go lights, and he made the right decision and did not hit any of the green. So that was 0%. So that's well done.
There we go. That's the SVT reaction time test that we've explained and demonstrated today. So what we're looking at here is an assessment that looks at your central nervous system, your vision, your reaction time, your hand-eye coordination, how you move your shoulders and arms and heads to make decision making, which is important not only for your daily activities in your life, but also in the sporting field.
Yep, that's well said. And if you have any vision questions, please ask the team at Executive Medicine.